guys, it's me. So it's been a while. I feel like I always say that at the beginning of my videos, because honestly it has been a while. The last video I did was, honestly I'm not sure. I'd have to go look, but it's been a while. I wanted to update you guys on my health postpartum. So yeah. So honestly, I don't remember the last update that I gave you guys, but I figured I would continue this postpartum kind of updates every now and then, just because there have been some changes and there have been some things that I have been dealing with that I wasn't actually dealing with prior to pregnancy. So, I mean, prior to pregnancy, my health was in a great place. I was intermittent fasting, I was keto, I was working out. I had gotten my Bartonella to a place where I didn't have a lot of symptoms. Things were just going good, and hence that's probably why I was able to get pregnant in the first place. But coming, postpartum, it's talked about how people with chronic illnesses can have a flare postpartum, just because of all the shifts in your hormones and everything that happens once you do give birth. So I was mentally prepared for that. And I knew the first thing that would probably come back would be my allergies or my reactions to everything. And that, I have muffins in the oven, 1 second. Okay, I'm back. So I was expecting my allergies to be the first thing to kind of rear their ugly heads. And they were. I was not mistaken. They came back pretty quickly after I gave birth and with all the hormone changes. So that stunk. Along with that was the interstitial cystitis pain. While I was pregnant, just like my allergies, it slowly decreased. And we think that's mainly because it's just related to an immune response that I have. So that came back with great vengeance, actually. So that was really painful. And then something that started happening a couple months later, like about a month later, after giving birth, was serious GI issues. And normally, I am on the end of the spectrum where I won't have like a bowel movement, or my stomach is more so quiet and doesn't move because of the nerve damage that happened from Lyme. But I was having the opposite issue, and that has never ever happened to me. So that was super weird. And I kind of dealt with it for a few months, thinking it would resolve itself. Instead of spending money to go to see my functional medicine doctor, I just tried to do the obvious, which would be like, okay, well, let's eliminate any foods that could possibly be doing that. Let's change up the probiotic. Let's add different things, take away different things. But nothing helped, like absolutely nothing. The only connection that I did find was that coconut now seemed to bother me more than it previously had. It's never really been something that's really bothered me, except for some gas or bloating, but that was when I was super, super sick. So that was the only correlation I made after all my efforts, which is why I wound up going back to my functional medicine doctor and kind of just trying to figure everything out. So for the GI issues, we did a standard stool analysis, and nothing came back. So then we did a super extensive one, and I will have to go look at the brand to show you guys. But it came back with 2 pathogenic bacteria that were super out of balance. They're kind of a bacteria that everyone has, but again, when they're out of balance, it can cause serious issues. So we don't really know how I got them. I wonder if it came from the hospital or if it came from something I ate. That's what the doctor said. That's what my doctor said. It was probably from a food source. So honestly, I'm stumped as to how I got it. But these 2 strains of bacteria, they're actually part of the same family, but that's just getting complicated. So the bacteria was super responsive apparently to colloidal silver or grapefruit seed extract. So I went the grapefruit seed extract route, and I have been doing that for the past few months. I have an upcoming appointment with with my functional medicine doctor in a couple weeks or less, to go over just how that kind of affected me. So it's baby eating books. Okay, so it's actually the flare that I'm going through that reminded me that, I should make a video and update everyone, for those that are interested, because I've been faithfully taking this grapefruit seed extract, and things were getting a lot better. I wasn't having the serious loose stool and just constant GI distress. It didn't matter what I was eating, what I was doing, what I wasn't eating, yada yada yada. And so I ran out of my bottle, and it's like a constant I gotta reorder. Oops, now that there's Allie, me and my supplements, I tend to run out of the bottle and then remember I should reorder, but getting better. So I ran out and I was like, you know what, I'm fine. My GI symptoms are fine. I'm just gonna see what happens. Yeah, that was not a good idea. I honestly didn't think this grapefruit seed extract could help so much, but at this point it's looking like it was, and it has been, because I've been off of it for a little over a week and my symptoms are full blown again, my GI symptoms. So that's reorder. That should be here today or tomorrow. But so that's super interesting. I don't really know what to conclude from it, but we might do more testing to see what's up, or we might just stay on grapefruit seed extract for a super long time. So along with these GI symptoms that were new and the allergies and the interstitial cystitis, I definitely had an increase in joint pain and bone pain. I call it marrow pain because that's literally where it feels like the pain is radiating from. Definitely all Lyme related or Bartonella related, whatever you want to say. And then the chronic fatigue, but not just new mom fatigue, fatigue where it's I don't know if I can get up out of bed and go to the grocery store, because if I do that, I'm going to be so depleted the rest of the day. I'm not going to be able to function. I'm not going to be able to take care of my baby. That kind of fatigue, the very mentally overwhelming fatigue. No, that's Dad's shoe. Okay, so we did some blood testing as far as Bartonella, Lyme, all that stuff. Nothing was, or I should say none of my markers were super high for anything. So again, we think it might just be hormone related. And then again, to these pathogenic bacteria that are totally out of whack. And so there's not much we can do because I'm nursing. We would experiment and try a more intensive Bartonella treatment, aside from the homeopathics that I'm doing. But again, because I'm nursing, and these treatments haven't been tested with nursing women, they don't want to take that chance. So I respect that, and it's just honestly a waiting game and kind of just riding the symptoms on a daily basis. I really can't find any correlations between, to a certain extent, obviously my symptoms are worse when I don't get enough sleep. But there's not one thing I can pinpoint that's definitely making me worse. She is 9 months. I plan to nurse her until at least 12 months. So I don't know. We'll see what ends up happening there. So the other thing that's a little different from before I got pregnant as far as my treatments go is I am doing an immunotherapy to try and desensitize my body from all of the food sensitivities that I've acquired throughout the years of having infection after infection. I am still trying to find my core dose for this treatment, so I don't really want to go into too much detail about it because things are still in the works, but I definitely think it's a step in the right direction. And I will gladly fill you guys in on that once I find my core dose and once we see kind of where it takes me. So aside from that, as far as treatment goes, I literally just went to acupuncture for the first time since before Allie was born, and honestly, it felt so good. My body felt so good. Obviously, since she's been born, my treatments have decreased just because I don't have as much like spare time on my hands. So that could also contribute to my change in symptoms and just feeling worse overall. And of course, just the regular like expending more energy and not sleeping as much, though we have gotten into a good schedule the past couple months since I started my spring semester in school, where she sleeps upstairs and she sleeps for a good 10 to 12 hours. So that's a blessing. But aside from that, I'm not doing urine injections right now because of this new allergy immunotherapy. I am still doing colonics, coffee enemas. I do sauna, which tends to help a lot. But overall, it's just kind of the balance of dealing with symptoms, not detoxing too hard from my treatments, and just trying to continue support my body. But also, we've got major bedhead going on today. Just supporting my body and not pushing it too hard, but I still try and work out a few days a week. It's back to kind of focusing more on movement therapy, honestly. It's nothing too strenuous. Some days I do like to push myself, but you know, for the most part, I try and not test the boundaries too much, because that could, at this point, really backfire on me. So, with all that said, I think we're gonna wrap up this update. Want to say anything to the fans?